Right, gentlemen, it looks like we are live. In today's live, we will be discussing how you can do your very first cold approaches, most likely by yourself, because it is very difficult to find wings out there. Because I was thinking lately, like how I went about cold approaching girls in public, how I got started. So, for people who don't know me, my name is Baltus. I'm a 31-year-old European guy, and in the last 3 to 4 years I have completely transformed my dating life, my entire life, my professional life. I've changed jobs, everything, because of daytime cold approach, learning the skill of daytime cold approach. And it has changed my mindset significantly and improved my self-confidence, my overall well-being. I've changed social circles, changed jobs, changed girlfriends. So many things have changed, and now I even help guys with learning the skill, right? Currently this is a passion project, but and going on in 2026 I'll most likely transition into doing this full time. So for people who don't know, I actually got coached myself more than 2 years ago by Christian Casanova, a member of the Entourage. But I know these videos are, designed to, you're watching this kind of cold approach content and like everybody's trying to sell you stuff. So actually um I'll make this video for guys who want to do everything by themselves. I would say out of all people that watch cold approach content, less than 10% will ever get coached. Less than 10% will ever even cold approach any woman in public, right? Most likely it's annoying, it's frustrating to watch guys cold approaching girls. I know I had this frustration and I felt shame watching cold approach content because some voice in your head is telling you like, why am I doing this? It makes you feel a little bit better, you think like, am I a loser for watching YouTube content like this? And something deep inside you is telling you like, I should already know how to do this, right? And to be honest, of all self-taught guys that I met in daytime cold approach, I have met one that is very good in Belgrade, the Bulgarian. Somebody is calling me. He was very, very good. I've met another Bulgarian guy in Ghent. He's also good, and he's now living with his girlfriend. And I've met more guys that are self-taught, but they absolutely suck. They're just horrible at it, and they think they're good. So guys will have all sorts of excuses for not learning daytime cold approach, for not doing it. And one of those excuses is, I already know how to cold approach, right? I don't need coaching because I'll do it myself. That's so stupid. Cold approach is creepy. It's weird. It will never work. Girls on the street, they're busy. Girls on the streets, they have boyfriends, blah, blah, blah. Stuff like that. So if you want to get coached, great. It doesn't have to be me. If you don't want coaching, also great. Then this video is also for you. If you are one of those people who will say, no, I'll do it myself, maybe just one person watching this will actually do it himself, and I will give you everything I did before getting coached myself, all the approaches I did before signing up for the Entourage for Christian, and how I went about approaching women in public in, let's say, 1 to 2 years before taking this very, very seriously and deciding, you know what, I just want to do this like really, 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 really good. And I knew deep inside me I could become elite at this skill. But what ultimately made me make that decision was, first of all, like heartbreak, very toxic relationship, things ending very, very bad with multiple girls, but specifically one girl, which is, by the way, one of the driving factors why guys make this decision is they got engaged and then got something bad happened. They got divorced, toxic relationships, being single for a very long time, not seeing any action, not meeting any girls, not getting dates, or just being, generally overall frustrated with the results you're getting from dating apps like Tinder and Bumble. So that's what ultimately made me make that decision. And also, I just was very curious about meeting a guy that was actually really, good at this. Like, how are these guys? Because I had friends here in Belgium, and we were sending each other infields. James Marshall talking to women in Barcelona, talking to girls in Budapest, in Hungary, in New York. But yeah, it just gave me this weird feeling watching these guys doing this, and something inside me realized, like, this is real, this can work, this will get me results. But my friends were just not up to it. I which is by the way one of the big mistakes I made. One of the things I'm about to tell you is hoping that you'll build some local social circle with guys and you'll figure this out together. Because what happened was that I went out with one of my Belgian friends. We're not friends anymore, but we would go out to talk to girls, and he would lecture me on how cold approach works, what's the right way to do it, what's the wrong way to do it, how girls will react, what kind of girls. So typical, oh, she's this kind of girl, she's a good girl, a bad girl, this one has a boyfriend, this one's on the phone. You create these categories of women in public. To be honest, looking back at these days, that was just total garbage, complete bullshit. Plus this guy didn't have any idea what the hell he was talking about, just complete bullshit. And he would go in for approaches. However, he was doing completely wrong. Very high pace, talking, high energy, but not really good energy. Trying to be funny, very performative. Trying to make jokes that weren't funny. Very indirect openers about their outfit that just were nonsensical. Asking for directions, asking for coffee, asking for the time. Trying to make a joke. Yeah. So one thing he did was he was actually approaching, but the approaches were just horrible. So this video will be about all the approaches I did before getting coached. So just me doing something and then hoping it will stick, right? And all the mistakes I made. So hopefully you can save a lot of time. And because you can save a lot of time and you can actually get results really, really fast if you just don't do what I did. Yeah. So let's talk about the mistakes I made. The mistakes. The biggest mistake is waiting for my friends, hoping that my friends will support me in this process, hoping that I will find wings and that I can convince my friends to do this together with. That just never worked out, because what happened was, as I just said, I found one guy who actually wanted to go out with me, but he was doing it the wrong way. And until you've learned the skill and you really know how to do it, you will never know if you're doing it the right way or the wrong way. You don't know, and you will most likely delude yourself into thinking that you know what you're doing and your friends know what you're doing, but actually you could be doing a lot of things wrong. And what do I mean with that? Like, what could you be doing wrong? Your body language is the biggest one. The way you open and the way you stop. Guys do not know how to stop a woman in public that's walking somewhere. They don't know. Most likely they will start doing a lot of front stops, So girl walks like this, you walk like this, and you will just directly try to stop her like this. It's not how it works. I'm not saying it cannot work and it cannot be done. I'm just saying it's not as efficient as other ways of trying to stop women. Okay, what you really want to do is, how do I show this on camera? So girl walks like this. Girl walks like this, and you spot her like this. You let her walk past you first. Then you turn around and then you approach her like somewhat sideways and you try to get in front of her. That's just the most efficient way of stopping a woman by far. And again, I'm not saying you cannot do a front stop. Yes, you can. You can do so many things. For example, in the gym, you don't really catch up with girls. You just go and position yourself in front of the girl. But since most of you will learn this skill in busy shopping streets, that's just the most efficient way of doing it. So no front stops, but catch up with the girl. And I know some guys out there will think this is beta behavior, right? It's like it puts you in some sort of a weak position to do a little walk or a little run even after a girl and position yourself in front of her. They think it's like, I don't know, it's loser behavior to run for a woman. I never really had this issue. I'm just thinking what's most efficient, what works and what doesn't work. So that's how you should go about it. I've just seen guys being very, very hesitant about, letting the girl walk past them first, then turning around. The actual act, the actual move of turning around in public can be like something strange the first times you're doing this, because you think, oh, people will notice what I'm doing. No, they won't. So doing this and then catching up with the girl, running, even sprinting, and then getting yourself next to the girl. Don't touch her, okay? Don't touch the women. Do a little wave and get in front of her. That's how you should do it. So instead of doing front stops, which a lot of guys think is more cool, it's more masculine, it's just garbage, okay? So yeah, that's mistake number one. Guys not knowing how to stop women, not knowing how to open, and doing like weird performative opens, lines, tricks, thinking you have to game a girl, thinking you have to be seductive, thinking, how should I even explain this? Like this idea that you should be gaming girls, just horrible. It's so stupid. It's just the remains of this pickup culture. The book The Game by Neil Strauss and Mystery, like people worship these guys as gods, and they think they have to learn these kind of strategies and lines and tricks to seduce women, that they have to put out an act, that it is something performative. It's basically about being straightforward and having a normal conversation. That's what it's really about. So let me look at all the mistakes I wrote down, things that I used to do the wrong way. So yeah, not knowing how to stop a woman, being indirect, asking them, and I did all these things myself. Eventually, when I was still working when I was still a hotel manager, I had like these very, very cool hotel discounts. So I was able to go on solo trips and stay in like fancy 4-star, 5-star hotels. And I did some solo trips. So that's the next step, by the way. If you want to learn and do cold approach by yourself, go on solo trips to places that you like. For example, I went to Amsterdam alone. I went to Spain alone, where I went to Valencia alone. Solo travel, okay? Solo travel is key. Valencia, I went to Sevilla in Spain alone. I went to Barcelona, not alone, with a group of friends. I went to Perugia in Italy alone. To Perugia, to the Umbria Jazz Festival. Great place as well to practice a little bit of cold approach. It's like a music festival, but not the dirty, noisy, loud music festival. It's very civilized, very clean, very nice people, very nice crowd. Intellectual old jazz people, but also young, hot 20-year-old Italian girls. Nightlife is very fun there during the festival. Don't go there without the festival. The place is dead. It's a very small town. So yeah, festivals could be a good option as well. That's where I did a decent amount of approaches, to be honest. Decent amount. I definitely did like 10 there in Perugia alone, which is a lot for me back then over the time span of being there for like a week, 10 days I was there. I don't really remember. I was there several times. So yeah, plan solo trips, go on solo trips. You need to learn how to travel solo as well. And thinking back on how I did these solo trips to Amsterdam, Valencia, Seville. If you do not know how to cold approach women in public and you go on solo trips, it can become something very stressful and very lonely, and you feel this pressure in your head because you see the beautiful women around you, and you know that you could do something, but you don't know how to go about it. And that's when approach anxiety and all these fears, they peak, right? And you're in your head a lot. You have an inner voice. You constantly have this inner dialogue about, oh, maybe her, maybe not her. Talk to the hotel receptionists. So first of all, plan solo trips. Make sure you have a nice location in the city center. Okay. The vibe. So basically when you walk out the door of the hotel, you're already in the city center. You do everything on foot. Talk to the hotel receptionists. They can be very nice. Definitely in 4-star hotels. I understand this can be expensive, but I just find it to be a good experience. And then what I did, for example, in Valencia, I would find a park, and I did the same thing in Belgium as well. So a mistake is to not cold approach in the busiest area of a city, which is most likely the shopping malls or the busy shopping streets. So that's a mistake, but I also understand that it can be very overwhelming to go to the busy areas, right? Because then you have more of the spotlight effect. You're more worried about, oh, people are going to see me, which is till today the biggest fear I still have is the fear of getting caught, and the spotlight effect is people are just messaging me calling. The fear of getting caught, the fear of being seen by ex-girlfriends, colleagues, old lovers, girls you're dating, stuff like that, because I live in a fairly small city. So that's just very annoying. But even in a new place, I thought like, people will figure out what I'm trying to do. They will notice me trying to approach a girl, and then what if it fails? Then I'll be miserably ashamed, and that will just destroy my confidence, right? So there's a lot of inner dialogue when you're going on these solo trips for the first time ever, and if you do not have the skill of daytime cold approach. And by the way, now years later, I don't have this inner dialogue anymore at all, like absolutely nothing. If anything, what's running through my mind now is like positive, self-soothing conversation where I'm very highly capable of coaching myself and talking to myself in a very positive way and believing in myself, even if I have like 2, 3, 4, 5 girls in a row that don't stop. They tell me they have boyfriends. They tell me they're in a hurry. It doesn't destroy my mood, and I don't have any sort of real approach anxiety anymore. So that's just a massive benefit. The negative inner dialogue is just gone. The only times I have a quote unquote bad mindset is when I just didn't have enough sleep. So solo trips, go on solo trips. What I did in Valencia, which is a great city for your let's say you want some destinations, right? So you decided you don't want to get a coach, you're gonna do everything yourself. What you'll have to do is you'll have to do solo trips, and I can only highly recommend going to Valencia. Why? It's a very big city, so there's a lot of foot traffic, but you can find more relaxed, more calm areas. It's not like Barcelona where there's people everywhere. But you should go to Barcelona. So go to Valencia. There is a big park in a place where there used to be a river, and now the river is dry, and they transformed it. They turned it into a park. So it just goes on for miles and miles and miles. There is grass, flowers, plants, trees, benches. There's lots of girls sitting there by themselves, reading books, I don't know, knitting, doing yoga, dancing, I don't know, making drawings, sitting on benches. And you can approach these girls and start a conversation about, oh, hi, I don't know, where are you from? What are you doing? What are you drawing? What are you dancing? Try to have normal conversations. Most likely these conversations will be, starting with starting with indirect openers. I mean, if you're going from nothing to something, some form of cold approach, be it indirect or direct, okay, I mean, good for you, right? You have to start somewhere. But looking back on how I went about it, because I ended up spending an entire day with a very cute French girl that I met, trying to cold approach girls in Valencia. And so what happened in this park, I was just talking about this old river that they turned into a park. You have to like go in the park by walking up or down these stairs. And she was walking down the stairs as I was walking up, and I kind of waved at her or something. It was like a spontaneous interaction where I was like, I don't really remember what I said. What did I say to her? I asked her like, oh, hi, do you know where this or that shop was, right? So I think I was looking to buy sunglasses, and I ended up asking her, do you know where I can buy sunglasses? That's not the exact opener, but it was something like this. So an indirect opener. We've already learned, don't do indirect openers. But however, if you have absolutely no fucking clue what you're doing, and you're going from nothing to something, fine, do an indirect opener. She happened to be in a really cool mood. She was solo traveling in Barcelona and Valencia, and somehow in this interaction it went from, do you know where I can buy sunglasses, to let's go buy sunglasses together. So I went to the mall with her together, thinking like, oh wow, this is an instant date. She's so beautiful, she's so nice. I was all nervous, but I was also full of energy. She was just a positive girl. Girls that are solo traveling, young girls, like between 18 to 25, the solo travel girls that are, they finished school or they're in between studies and they're kind of exploring the world. Those are like the coolest girls ever, in my opinion. Really, really cool girls. They're just dying to be approached because they don't have anything to do. She was basically having fun because she's in Valencia in Spain on a sunny day. She doesn't have any friends, right? She was there for a week. Turned out later I discovered she was there on a solo trip because she was trying to get over her breakup. And so we went to buy sunglasses together. Well, I didn't buy any, but we went to a mall together, tried out some, funny sunglasses. Would have been an ideal moment to take some selfies. That's something I would do now. Back then I didn't realize it. Take some selfies with their girl, and you can send the selfies to her later, to create some sort of, memories, something fun for her to receive as well. It's always nice to send girls pictures. So went to the mall, checked out some sunglasses, walked around, and then I said something like, oh, do you know this aquarium? You have in Valencia this huge, massive aquarium, which is an awesome place for dates and taking girls. She didn't know I actually went to that aquarium the day before. So I went there by myself, and then the next day I met her, and I was like, oh, do you know this aquarium? She's like, oh no, cool, we should go. And I was like, yeah, we should go. So I went to that aquarium 2 days in a row, very happy about going there with a beautiful French girl, and spent the day there with her. Well, a couple of hours, then walked back in that park together. We had some ice cream or some slushy together. Then we sat on a bench, And I would say like 5 or 6 hours after meeting her, I tried kissing her on that bench. She gave me the cheek, and then she told me the story about being in Spain on a solo trip because she, she was trying to get over her breakup. But we still spent more time together. We even went to the movies. I think we watched some horror movie together. And yeah, the next day I had to catch my plane in the morning. So she invited me to go out to a party that night, but I refused. I didn't try to kiss her again, which is a mistake, by the way. It's not because she gives you the cheek, you shouldn't try to kiss her again later. So that was like an instant date that turned out to be me spending the entire day with this girl. So what went well, I actually approached her. I spent a lot of time with her. We had a great experience together. What could I have done better is start with a direct compliment. Like, you look absolutely gorgeous. You're so beautiful. It would polarize the whole setup more. It would just start off the entire dynamic in a different way, instead of waiting 5 to 6 hours and being like very friendly about everything, right? Being too afraid to polarize. But fair enough, it's better than doing nothing. So, lesson learned: give direct compliments, stop a girl the right way, as I said, avoid front stops, catch up with the girl, let her walk her past you first, turn around, run after her, walk after her, do a side stop, position yourself in front of the girl, give a direct compliment, be slow about delivering the compliment, look her in the eyes, and yeah, just say, you look very, very beautiful. You are very attractive. I know the word attractive can be difficult to say. So you're very beautiful is a good one. You can make the compliment as specific as you possibly can. Basically, the point is to say what's on your mind and to deliver it in the most fluent way possible. That's the point. That's how you deliver a compliment in this very short explanation of mine. I used to here in Ghent as well, in Belgium, when a girl would sit in a park alone, reading a book or doing something. That's probably the very first approach I did here in Belgium. I was on my bicycle, going through the park. I saw this girl. I was like, shit, she's just too cute. She's too hot. I have to say something to her. I turned back with my bicycle, got off the bicycle, walked for like, I don't know, 10 to 20 seconds, and then said something. Oh, hi, I saw you and you're just so cute, right? The word cute was a stupid compliment, because cute, if you say, you are very cute, you look so cute. Cute can be an excuse for not using the word beautiful. So if you're too scared to say you are beautiful, you're very attractive, or you're hot even, you could say that if you deliver it in the right way. If you're trying to avoid these things, it could be in some cases that you're falling back to these second tier compliments like, oh, you're very cute. But you can also say cute. I would say you're so adorable. I prefer you're so adorable over you're cute. Cute is kind of a superficial, one size fits all compliment for guys that are too scared to give another kind of more punchy compliment. So yeah, the mistakes I made, stopping girls the wrong way, not being direct about giving the compliments, using indirect openers. What else did I write down here? I have so much stuff. I actually had some cold approach experiences with girls approaching me here in Ghent. 2 specific examples come to mind. One Latina, Spanish looking hippie girl she approached me. I was just standing on the corner of a street rolling a cigarette, and she came to me. She was like, oh, hi, Do you know where there's a good place around here where I could have lunch? And me just being a complete idiot, not knowing any better, I responded with something like, well, you can go there, you could go there. I'm kind of in a hurry because I had exams back when I was still studying music. I was still studying piano. I was in the middle of exams, and this girl asked me where could I have lunch, and I was thinking logical about it, actually trying to find her a place where she could have lunch instead of turning this into an instant date and going out for lunch together with her. So that was stupid. That was a missed opportunity for going on an instant date with a very beautiful girl. Because what actually happened was I got nervous because she was so beautiful, so attractive, and I just tried to run away. And me having exams was just an excuse for not going on an instant date with her. But yeah, fair enough. I wasn't really aware of this concept of instant dates. So if you stop a girl, if it's working out for you, if she's clearly attracted to you, if you like each other, don't forget about the instant date. In fact, you should always aim to go on instant dates. I've missed out on so many chances. Yeah, by not going on an instant date. It's just so stupid. But I guess the only way to learn about this is once you've actually had a successful instant date, and then you realize the importance of going on an instant date, because there will be so many approaches where it's just flirty fireworks. The chemistry is so good, the girl really really likes you, and then you kind of take the Instagram or the WhatsApp and it's like, oh, we'll see each other, I'll text you and we'll go out to this place at this time, and then she goes to you never see her again, and you're left alone thinking like, what the hell happened? This was such a great interaction. Why didn't she respond to me? So that just shows that women can really like you in the moment, but that attraction fades so fast. So push for the instant date. It's a mistake. Not going for the instant date. And then another one, a girl that approached me here in the city center of Ghent in Belgium on the St. Michael's Bridge. We were basically standing on that bridge. I was walking home from work, I think, or I went to see some live music. Decided to go home. I'm walking alone at night, walking over that bridge, and this girl like waves at me or asks me something like, oh, excuse me, can I ask you something? Absolutely dropped that gorgeous Mexican girl. Asks me, do you know where the city center is? And I was like, well, yeah, the city center is here. Again, mistake, being logical about the conversation, actually answering her questions instead of seeing that she's just bored out of her skull, and she probably liked the way I looked or something, and she just wanted to strike a conversation. We're literally standing in the center of the city center itself, and you're asking me where the city center is. It's just retarded. So I'm like, yeah, you can go there and you can eat there, and you can I'm acting as some sort of a stupid tour guide, giving her answering her question. And so that she was so beautiful, that interaction was like 2-3 minutes. I'm like, okay, but I have to go home. Like, I actually had to go home. Could have been an instant date as well. And so I continue my walk, but that was actually the first time in my life I realized, like, fuck, this woman is something here feels something about it feels special. Like, what am I doing? Why didn't I ask for her number? So about 30 seconds to 1 minute of me continuing my way home, I looked back. I saw I could still see her. She was still within reach. And I ran after her and said like, hey, we should go for a drink. I'll need your number. So I took her WhatsApp or her regular phone number, I think. She was so happy that I approached her again and took her number. And then I still went home, which is stupid. I should have taken her out right there on the spot. Let's go for a drink now. She had nothing better to do. She was on some business trip. And I called her then the next day, I believe. Took a train to Brussels, where she was staying in a hotel. Spent the evening with her. And I remember making out with her on the old city square in Brussels at night, and she invited me to her hotel, where eventually I was sitting on her bed, and she was like spending like 10 minutes, 15 minutes in her bathroom, like looking for something. And I was so stupid and lacked the experience to understand what actually was going on. She was looking for condoms, and I didn't get the cue. I didn't understand what was going on, but she was actually looking for condoms. So another mistake I made is going on dates without having condoms with you. It's so stupid. Do not go on dates without condoms. That's another mistake. Don't do it. Don't do it. Yeah. So I guess I'll have to wrap it up. The mistakes I made was stopping girls in the wrong way. Don't wait for your friends. Don't wait for your social circle to support you. Nobody will help you with goal approach ever in your life. You'll have to do everything yourself. Don't discuss it with your friends. Don't discuss it with your family. Don't expect to find great wings that will support you and that will push you. It's not going to happen. You will have to do it alone. If you're one of the stubborn guys that knows everything better, Mr. Know-It-All, you'll have to do it alone. You'll have to get a coach. Even if you start doing it alone, you'll still want a coach. The problem with finding a coach is you don't really know who's a good coach and who's a bad coach. Plus, there's a lot of guys out there that might be good coaches, but they will offer you boot camps in groups. And I know guys who've done this, but typically what they say is, hey, it was really good, but I didn't get a lot of time with the coach, and I had to share the time with other guys. So we were like 4, 5, 6 guys. So I don't know, a good coach, but you have to share the experience with other guys that are all on different levels. I mean, you can make the decision. Or it was just a bad coach, it was just a bad experience. That's just stupid. These boot camps, these group coaching programs are just a way for coaches, even if they're good or bad coaches. We don't want to talk shit about other coaches, but that's just a way for coaches to make more money, right? If you get 5 guys in the same place, time and location together, then you just increase your income, times 5. But every guy's different. You want a one-on-one experience, private, where it's like from morning till afternoon, it's just you one-on-one. That's how I did it. That's how I do it with guys as well. It's just more fun. Eventually it's about making it work. So things I did wrong: if you want to do everything yourself, you want to start cold approaching, go on a solo trip where there's enough foot traffic, enough women on the streets. Try indirect openers if you have to, but try to transition into direct openers as fast as you can. Focus on making the girl stop. If you have to go to parks or more relaxed public environments, that's just fine. But eventually the spotlight effect is in your mind, and I will make a separate video on spotlight effect, because that's a tough one. I still struggle with that one till today. Make it easy on yourself. Go to parks, go to more calm spaces, libraries, benches outside libraries can be a good location as well. You might want to go to some cities where they have music festivals going on, like in Perugia in Italy, Umbria Jazz Festival. If you like jazz music, it's a good one. It's not like a techno festival, it can feel like a bit hostile environment. So solo travel, try Amsterdam, try Sevilla or Seville in Spain, Perugia in Italy, try Valencia. Even Barcelona is a good place. bring condoms with you on all the dates you go on, always. I think that's it for today. The importance of instant dates as well. Yeah, if you can go on an instant date, do it. Don't make the mistake of having a great cold approach, a great interaction, and thinking that because you got the WhatsApp or because you have her Instagram that, you know, the deal's sealed and you did a good job. It will feel very good, but you'll learn fast enough that just getting an Instagram or a WhatsApp, it doesn't mean that much. It just means the girl likes you enough to give her contact details. So yeah, let me know how it went. Oh yeah, and another one, maybe one more tip here, if you want to do cold approach by yourself alone, is if you've done a great approach, do another one immediately. Yeah, so try to do 4 to like 12 approaches in 2 hours time. So you see a hot girl on a bench in the park, had a great conversation, great. Go to the next girl and do the same thing. Go to the next girl, next. Try to do more approaches, really push yourself. I would walk around for hours, do an approach, maybe get a number, maybe have a great conversation, mess up not going on an instant date, and then, you know, wait another 30 minutes, another hour. It will just make you lethargic and sleepy and more in your head. So the end goal eventually is to be able to go to the busy shopping area of the street and do like 10 to 20 approaches in about 2 hours time. If you can do that, report back to me. And there's absolutely no way you will not be getting any sort of decent results. All right, boys, I'll have to cut it short. I have other things to do now. See you in the next one.